Tapping in.
Are we live?
Great leaders are great listeners, and you got two great listeners here on this podcast right here, man. Especially my brother Sway. This is an immaculate ear for R&B you got here on the pod, ready to discuss Summer Walker. Still over it. Sway, what you think, man?
Miles Xavier, it's important, and I'm glad that you introduced it that way because, in fact, I love R&B. I'm an R&B baby. You know, I'm talking Tevin Campbell. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking. I'm talking back in the day. You know what I mean? You don't want to Bobby Brown like that's. Nah, man. Real talk off of this album. Just quite honestly, the first Summer album over it is a classic, right? It's an absolute classic. There's no denying that it's a classic, and it launched an even bigger wave of this new age R&B that we're hearing right now. If you're gonna think back at your favorite the difficult question for R&B heads right now to be able to decipher is Control better than Over It? But that's a conversation for another time because Control is also a classic, another classic that came out at the same time. Not to pit two beautiful Black women against each other, but if we're borrowing some competitive elements of hip hop into this conversation, who number one? You feel me? And that question was up in the air. Is it SZA with the Control or is it Summer with Still Over It? Both have put out fantastic first albums. The albums that they all both put out before, a wee bit, you know, they're all these EPs, mixed label outputs, you know, some of them with single cuts, whatever the case is, coming now up into the second album coming in. I think what we're seeing is the what happens when an album is created in a singular nucleus of creative ideas between Summer Walker and London on the Track, who was the main producer of that last album, borrowing heavily off of the samples and the synths and the keys, a beautiful piece of evidently what turned out to be real passion that came out of that situation. Now, when you break up and you do something different, right, it's obviously not going to embody that, especially when the energy towards there's still energy transfers between the first album and what that sounds like and what this needs to sound like creatively and whatever the case is, because now it's not, this is a heartbreak album, you know what I mean? It's a solid heartbreak album, and there's some standouts that I really enjoy, but Summer has not missed a single album to me. This is the least excited I've been about a Summer Walker project since starting to listen to her in 2014 on YouTube. I was just playing guitar at the Walmart.
You like Clear better than this?
Yes, but Clear is a shorter album though. Clear is a much shorter album that I don't think you can compare it really.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what I'm saying, for you to be like, this is the least excited you've been about a Summer Walker project. Like, dang. Yeah, you were more excited about that short project than this, Sean?
Definitely. And if you see the visuals for Clear, where she's up in the tree room and she's walking in there and they're sitting down and throw that on right now and see the emotions that come out of both of us.
Hey, man. That's funny. It's really funny that you say that. It's funny that you go to emotions in terms of like, why do you put an album over this one? Because if this album, I think, captures the emotions of a woman who's really like wanted to give somebody a chance and it didn't work out, and all the support that goes into that and all of the self-doubt that goes into that. Like, so backing up, right, we're in this weird stage where like I didn't listen to this album until yesterday, but since it dropped on Friday, I was seeing like all the memes about it, right? I was seeing, you know, women in front of cars on fire and, you know, all sorts of memes flying about how Like this was really inflammatory. Like this was like really like will make you, you know, be upset with your man type John, right?
Mm.
And it was really funny. Like it's funny just that as a whole conversation in itself of like the idea of being able to have like almost spoilers for an albums through a different form of media before you listen to something. Really interesting, right? But like I tried to put all that out of my mind and I just like put it on, let it run from beginning to end a couple of times, right? And it was really like to your point, the first it's not what the first album is in terms of like showing this artist's range and the different types of ways they can make a song that you'll love. This felt like each song was a complete thought about a different aspect of being disappointed in a relationship. And while that might not make it the most pleasant album to return to, I felt like there was a lot of truth in this album and a lot of
Yeah.
maturity that complements the first album in its passionateness, right? I felt this, right? Even if there are only there are definitely standouts for sure that, you know, I'll continue to play again and put into like different playlists, but you're spot. I won't return to this album to just like play it because I feel like, dang, that was a good album. Let me listen to that. You got to be in a certain mood because it really does take you there. But I think that is because it's so well written and it's so emotional, and the way that she chooses to lift up women, but still not being, I think, all that unfair to men. She's very personal. She's very specific. She doesn't do too much hyperbole about all men in this. It's like it's very honest. I rock
Yeah.
with it.
I mean, like it's a good, like at this point now you comparing summer against summer, right? Like that's what it is. It's the unfortunate the Simone Biles, the Simone Biles, the what do they call it? The Simone Biles regulations, right? Where you compare someone is so good, you can only compare them against their last performance, because outside of that, it really is a dope album. Like you have the Dirk feature on here, which was really cool to see what they do with Dirk. That No Love, boy, that No Love will tell you everybody, yo, dudes, and I'm talking to my dudes right now. Listen, dogs, if you ever wondered what happens when you break up with your girl, run that No Love. And it will put you up to speed with what happens when you leave a woman heartbroken. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of standouts. Session 33 was a good one for me. I really enjoyed that. Toxic with Dirk, as I said, Insane, Circus was great. There's a few things on here that are definitely gonna make us way. Love playlist.
Yeah, for sure. Oop, my bad. Yeah, for sure, man. You hit on some of my highlights too, for sure. Circus, Insane, Toxic with Dirk. I like what's behind. I like Unloyal. I think that joint is dope. I like Bitter. I liked a lot of this, man. I didn't know that both Cardi and Sierra are the fourth baby mama of their respective famous rap partners. But I just think there's more to be examined here about simple ways that we can be better in relationships, and that is for us to take something personal from it. That's for us to look at how much this is resonating with women and to go, why were we so mad? Like, why do they so deeply and thoroughly understand why she's mad or has so much to work through? And I just think that I think any piece of art that creates that opportunity for empathy and understanding somebody else's experience is fire. So I think this is an incredible addition to her catalog. I will be for sure making sure that I'm nice to the women in my life for as long as this is in rotation. No doubt.
Give us a score, Mr. Miles Xavier. Give us a score. What you got it at?
I got this at a 4, son. I got this at a solid 4 out of 5. You know what I mean? Is if it had that, there is a bounce, there is a ease of and a replay value to the first album that I think isn't quite there. And if this had that, then it would be a 5. But in terms of emotional content, in terms of writing, in terms of growth as an artist, in terms of like just making damn good music. I gotta get this a 4 out of 5.
Hey, I stick with my brother on that 4 out of 5. Definitely some joints that are gonna make the playlist, the Zway playlist. So look out for that. Look out for that. But I think we done served up a hot piece of content, brother Miles.
No doubt. Yo, if you're not listening to that Mick Jenkins Elephant in the Room, you sleeping. If you're not checking out that The Harder They Fall, that movie, I think is out on platforms and whatnot, Idris Alba and whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
TV show.
No, it's a movie, bro.
Just a movie? I thought it was a TV show.
It's a movie, bro. It's a movie. Check that out. Support Black film. And we know.